We are only
Greetings. Hey, greetings, world. Greetings, holistic beings, fellow brethrens and sistrens. It is I, Rochelle. I am co host of the Holistic Living Network. This is our first uh, web show that we're airing right now. Kind of like a pilot, very informal. Just want to introduce everyone to who we are. Um, One day we're going to look back on this first pilot and just see how it all started. And we're really giving thanks for anyone who's joining us or anyone who wants to um, just connect with us right now. I have a couple of awesome guests. First, I want to introduce my co host, Bilal Samadi.
greetings, family. I'm in the house.
All right. Bilal's in the control room, um, basically doing all the technical work and also enlightening us with his views on holistic living. Um, we also have Makua Ra and
Cool Ray, happy to be here.
Makua Ray. I'm sorry. I know him as Makua. Brother Makua, who is uh, a holistic being, uh, doing his thing over in DC. Give thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. We
Giving
appreciate
thanks.
your thoughts, sharing your mind with us. Um, we aired a show not too long ago, talking about doing cleanses and just different ways we can be healthy, spiritually, mentally, physically. Today we want to get into the mind of our holistic brethren, Nakua, and talk about his view of holistic lifestyle and holistic living. Nakua, just share some things about yourself that we can vibe on.
Right on. Well, thank you. First of all, it's an honor to spend this time with the both of you. Such an auspicious way. We have these tools of telecommunication to be able to share this creative moment and inspiration with each other. So I'm very appreciative of that. And I guess a little bit about myself as I live and being presently in Washington, D.C. And I'm involved as an organizer in a lot of different ways and producer of events and creative artist and things of this nature. And yeah, it's full circle in many ways because Bilal and I have had a lot of iterations of creative collaboration also over the years. And so I'm continuing kind of in that way as in similar ways that he is as well, with work we do inside of Planet Restoration, which is an initiative to help raise awareness around environmental stewardship through the arts, and actually inspire people to consider alternate lifestyles that would inform them and engage them in holistic ways of living concerning how we build our homes and how we secure our food, how we, understand and begin to access energy in a regenerative way. So we've begun this as an exploration, I would say, I think on a personal level, and we're looking at ways to continue to grow and expand this initiative. People can check out some info at planetrestoration.info about that kind of work. So yeah, that's my interest, my passion centers around the arts. My passion centers around this idea that we're all artists, and that if I do anything, I like to help facilitate situations where people can express creatively, because I do feel that that's a part of living holistically is a real appreciation of our inherent creative nature and how we nurture that nature in ourselves through some type of creative modality, whether for a person that's dance or that's other types of creative expression, be it singing, or some people like to do spoken word, for example. Other people create expressively through musicianship of a variety of types, and others through storytelling, you know. So there's a myriad of ways, painting and so on, graphic design. I look at all things practically as art. So when we talk about holistic living, we can include conversations about the culinary arts, because that relates to how we can really experience the beauty and the joy and the synchrony of cooking and food. What impact does the color of the food have on us? All these things are a creative sort of interplay with being human. So for me, arts is our purpose. Our purpose is to be creative. And I think it's up to each individual to identify their creative passion, like what really makes them come alive. I think that's a question we oftentimes might overlook. We're not necessarily encouraged to seek that out, but we definitely know it when we encounter it, because it's a feeling and a knowing beyond anything that somebody can actually teach you. It's a remembrance or a recognition that you're connecting with your creative force, your creative purpose. And it's kind of like the idea of meditation. Like, I can talk to people about the benefits of meditations I may engage in. However, meditating is very direct, very personal. So it would only really be benefiting the person if they themselves engage in meditation. Creativity is the same way. I mean, I can have creative inspiration unbound, but at the same time, that's personal, that's direct. So I would always try to encourage people themselves to tap into their creativity, because in your creativity is something called the flow. And when you're in the flow, there's another type of natural process happening, and you happen to be conscious of it when
Is
you're in
this
the
the
flow.
creative time that you were talking about before?
Well, yeah, Bilal had mentioned something before we came on air called natural time. And
Okay.
creative time to me is natural time. There's this idea that we have been affected by, most of us, I mean, if we really consider it, but this idea of time is money. And this is the dominant paradigm that we operate through. However, there is a paradigm that suggests time is art. For that's actually a mathematical equation. I could get into that. It's a bit complex, but the point is, time is energy. Time, when factored by energy, creates beauty. Or synchronicity, encountering anything of the material world, creates beauty. And it's an experience that we experience as good timing or synchronicity. This idea of meaningful encounter, meaningful exchange. And again, the meaning is very subjective. It's very personal. It's very direct. And so to live in the flow, or to live in sync, or to live in tune, as this idea of good timing, or even near sort of uncanny, even miraculous encounters that seem to have merit or purpose. That's natural time. When we speak of natural time, that's actually a way of life. And I've come to a point in my life where if I'm not experiencing that recognition of the correlation or the meaning, then it's an opportunity for me to check where am I sort of out of sync? What is it in my experience that I'm somehow agreeing to by my attention that's not necessarily benefiting me or helping support me to remain in sync? And so that sort of sense of being disconnected or out of sync is kind of an indicator. It's like the warning lights on the dashboard. It helps me remember the purpose of the meaning in these kind of encounters, and how that gets facilitated through one's creativity is very interesting. That
Yeah.
becomes that sort of interplay of the energy, of life in that sense. So with natural time, I'll just say in short, for me, that's probably my leading technical passion, if you will, is the idea of something called calendar change or calendar reform, which is actually an introduction to holistic living in the sense that the way that we navigate or organize our lives through the calendar has an impact on our ability to live holistically. So we've lived under this
if I may
subjugation of,
interject,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
is I like how there's a theme of natural time, which ties in everything you're saying. Is time is art, you
Mm,
know. So when we find that we're living, when we're looking at time, when we're looking at life as if time is money, then we know we're out of whack. It's like we're a little off sync. When we're looking at it as time as art, like that's the natural flow of things, I think, as well. And
mm,
I think
mm,
when we're looking at holistic living, like the first thing I think that people think of when they hear holistic is some like Whole Foods, like, or, you think about food or something. Whilst it's holistic living has to do with something bigger. It's holistic. And what it brings to mind as well for me is deficiency. Where is there a deficiency? Where there's deficiency, you know, we need to make whole again that
mm-hmm.
thing. And I think that whole time is art uh, is that supplement that's needed as well uh,
Mm,
to
Let
fulfill
me
that.
ask. I'm I'm gonna come in and kind of bring
please.
something current that's going on right now. I did not realize that yesterday, I guess technically yesterday, was Environmental Sustainability Day. Did you know this?
Yeah, it's environmental world awareness or something to that effect. Yeah. So,
I just went on some links that was shared worldwide and came across some different organizations, mostly students, striving to come together and focus on sustainable living. Um,
yeah.
and then, of course, politically, what's going on um, with the country's president signing, some sort or making some sort of decision to not be environmentally savvy or environmentally sound, or to maybe not
Yeah.
consider that as something very important. Makua, what do you think about like people who don't really understand, or people who are learning, young people who are learning about sustainability and how creative time can help somebody who's just kind of had it with what's going on today? A lot of
Yeah.
people, especially the youth, they think about environmental sound, like, um, and that's a big part of our responsibility here on this earth. However, it's for a young person, they may look at it like, how can I do this? Where can I start? And what we're speaking of is
Right.
something that's very deep and um, functional in any time. So could you speak to a young person who says, I want to be holistic, and to me holistic means just being environmentally sound?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I certainly think it starts with that awareness that there's a reason to stand and rally on behalf of the planet, to
Mhm.
begin to have those conversations among your peer groups about things that really matter to you. I remember when I was in high school, the things I was most concerned about was, the police violence in the community that was happening in New York and stuff that was conflict among neighborhoods and communities. I mean, these are real life things. And similarly, the youth of today face a much larger, more daunting sort of challenge it's to the environment, because it's not just your neighborhood or your block or even your community. It's really the planet in peril. And so they're feeling a whole different impetus, I would imagine. And if I'm speaking to them, I would certainly encourage them to continue trusting their gut and trusting their instinct. Because if any movement has ever been led by anyone, it's always been the young people. Need to be a voice of reason in a very unreasonable situation, as you mentioned, the president of the United States and the decision to remove the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement. As decidedly as a business decision to his stakeholders, or to those he's beholden to generally, even that which he's most interested in himself. There's obviously the decision to choose or side with this idea of time as money, the notion of the earth as a commodity, or there's an opportunity to actually completely take a new direction, because as there are huge unknowns, the one thing I can definitely say is that the current climate, as it relates to the politics in the United States in this next foreseeable future period, with the shenanigans happening politically, at least, the entire paradigm, as it were, is a race to the bottom. Meaning it's going in a trajectory there's no future in that. It's not sustainable, and it's definitely not regenerative. When we hear the word sustainable, to me, I think it's sometimes a misinterpreted word. I think it can become something that's been misapplied, in the sense that there's subjectivity to the word. What is sustainable for who? What is sustainable for what agenda, to what end? And I think that's something that young people are already aware of, because they've been able, living and growing up in the information age, to receive and be adaptable to a whole lot more information, and to process that a lot more quickly than people older than them. And that's an aspect of evolution. It's an aspect of adaptability. It's a process of the organic experience that they're involved in. And it's kind of something that my generation or generations older may not necessarily appreciate so much, because we kind of had one foot in, one foot out. We've adapted in our adulthood, in some cases, my generation, or maybe our teenage years, we've adapted to this thing called email, or this thing called hyper intercommunication. That's, always the internet and things like this. But for young people today, it already existed. So it's something that they've been able to accelerate in their understanding. And I think we're also in a period where paradigm shift, it's not something that just happens immediately and it's stark and the contrast is that clear. It's a transition. And so we're here in this transitional period, unlike no other before, because we have hyper technology informing all of this.
Makua? Okay.
That's awesome. That is an awesome picture. That is awesome. You can't make that up.
You see? I may have to eject him and then he comes back.
Okay. Well, for all of our holistic brethren and sistren, we apologize for the interruption. Bilal's going to bring Makua back. And in the meantime, we want to share with you different ways you can contact us. Our email. Bilal, could you flash that on the screen, or? And if not, I can go ahead and just give it. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm working on it. Next time,
No problem.
have that down.
That is no problem at all.
We're not hearing you, McCoy, yet.
Yeah. and it's cool. Uh, little
Though,
difficulty, but he's right there. I see him.
mhm.
Um, hold on 1 second, myself. Um, ah,
um, a couple things I wanted to share
okay.
while we're working this stuff out. There's a couple websites I want to share,
Okay.
but hold on. Let's see if we can get McCool's sound working again here. Um, hmm. Nope, nope, not hearing you.
Well,
But
that's okay.
yeah, it's cool.
Um,
Um,
that's so weird. Okay, here we go.
you want to try to come back in again, McCool, and see if that helps. Let's try that. Okay. So, um,
Well, what we can, if I can just go ahead and give our email.
okay.
If anyone would like to reach out to us, give us some of their views, speaking about creative time, natural time, holistic, sustainable living, um, what's going on in this country right now as we strive to protect our holistic lifestyles. You can reach us at holistic living network, the number one, at gmail.com. Um, you can address myself, Rochelle, or Brother Bilal, and let's start a conversation. Moving forward, we will be speaking about more specifically about certain parts of holistic lifestyle. Um, I will say for myself that holistic to me has everything to do with being holy, being whole. Um, Holistic health um, includes a spiritual wellness, a mental wellness, an emotional wellness, as well as a physical wellness. Um, but me personally, in that order, my focus is holistic health, um, healthcare. Um, that's my studies. I'm a plant advocate, so I support plant-based eating regimens and showing people how to love and enjoy plants, growing plants, harvesting plants, eating plants. Um, my company, 99 Plants, is a plant food clinic, and you'll be hearing more about that as we get more into food and things like that. Um, you know, Bilal and I have been, living this lifestyle for at least a couple decades, and we're just wanting to bring a new look to holistic living and holistic lifestyle to the everyday person. Um, I speak to people literally every day about being healthy, different ways to be healthy. And what I'm finding is that because of the internet, there is so much information out there, and some people don't know where to start. Unfortunately, what I tell people, usually it starts when you get sick, because you've now pinpointed a place where you can pay attention to in your life that needs to become healthy again. It needs some nurture. It needs a focus. It needs research and study, personal research and study. And I support people becoming their number one doctor, their own number one doctor, because they know their body more than any healthcare professional can ever know. Um, I always think about personally, and I have talked about it, how Yeshua talked about coming. He didn't come for those who are well. He came for those who are sick. So it's important that we look at what's wrong. It is important that we focus on what's wrong with us first. And that begins a whole new journey to looking at other parts of your life that can use some healing, that can use some nurturing, some love, some dedication of time and effort. So definitely, when Bilal talks about deficiencies, um, there are deficiencies that we have to pay attention to. This is not no place for judgment at all. It's a place to come together and decide purposely to nurture that area. So,
It
um,
also brings to mind too for me how Yeshua says, "When thine eye be single, your
mm,
whole body shall be full of light, full with light." You know, so that takes the holistic thing to a whole nother, level. That's a whole nother part of it. That focusing on the Most High
mm,
and bringing that focus in order to supplement that deficiency, you know, and
could you
yeah.
give an example, like just in your opinion, what would be a form of supplementation?
Well, there is one technique that I've studied, which is sun gazing,
Mm,
which is something that should be done with caution. And there's a specific way it's supposed to be done, specific times, and a specific process to it. Um, when you study it, you'll learn that it's supposed to be done uh, like when the sun is rising or when the sun is setting. So there's a small window where you do your sun gazing, your solar gazing,
mm.
and they say that it nourishes your spiritual body. It, it's so many benefits.
Wow.
Um, yeah.
And what were the time frames again?
I, like sunset
Okay,
and sunrise.
sunrise. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Those are
So
beautiful times
yeah,
to be,
definitely.
to
Mhm.
be outside or to be looking at the sun, the sky. Hmm.
Yeah. And they say you should kind of squint initially when you're first starting. Just do it squinting, and then as the days go on, you'll get used to it more and more. You can open your eyes a little more and more. So there's a
Awesome.
whole process to it, you know. Um,
So, Bilal, do you think that you can maybe we can go a little deeper into this because this seems something like something that people can realistically do. Um,
Yeah.
maybe we can post
And
some things for our next show as far as what your experience is when sun gazing.
definitely, yeah, I'm with it. And I think it falls in line with what we were talking about with fasting and things because they say that you can actually be nourished from sun gazing through solar gazing.
I can
Um,
imagine. I can
yeah,
imagine. Just coming from a physical level, um, just as far as nutritionally, vitamin D. If you
exactly.
are someone like myself who does not eat animal products or animal byproducts, you may be low on vitamin D. So the best way for your skin to really absorb the vitamin D or to allow vitamin D to activate a certain substance that's already in your skin naturally is to
Mhm.
get out there in the sun. And health professionals, researchers say that it doesn't have to be full sun, getting a suntan and needing sunscreen and all of that. You could actually be outside on a cloudy day and receive some of those ultraviolet rays and allow your body to synthesize the vitamin D. So what you're saying, Bilal, sounds like maybe that's a great way to get some vitamins, some organic compounds.
Definitely, definitely,
That's
straight from nature.
awesome.
And
Okay.
and too, that takes it back. Like it reminds me again of Yeshua. And if you ever study the Dead Sea Scrolls, he talks a lot about like the angel of air, the angel of water, the angel of sun, like the natural elements. And within the Dead Sea Scrolls, it talks about how he healed a lot of people through these natural angels, the angels of nature. So
Wow.
yeah,
Um,
all ties in.
how can, by the way, real quick, how can somebody, if somebody wanted to join in with our conversation, um, how can they do that?
They can join in. There's a link here, and we have a chat here. I'll put the link right here in the chat.
Okay.
Hopefully, you all can see
I see the chat there, but oh,
chat.
there it is.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll pop
So,
it in there.
um, would they just get in on the YouTube channel? Would they just go to YouTube and just see it's there?
They can,
No, I'm not that technical.
or
Again,
wherever the
allow.
link is, like we can copy and paste that link to anywhere, whether if it's Google Plus, Facebook, wherever, or what is that,
Okay.
Twitter. Put the link in, and once they click on the link, they'll be in the room with us.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh,
McCoy,
it
you
looks
guys
like
find it?
he was there again.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know if y'all can hear me though.
Oh, we hear you.
Hey, we can hear you.
All right, there we go. All right.
Can you hear us?
I hear you. All right.
Yes.
Mhm.
I can't see you though.
You can't see me. Oh no. I'm here.
It's kind of darker, but
I
we
believe
Oh
you.
yeah, because I'm on the let me give me 1 second.
okay. Yeah. So I think we're hitting on a lot of goodness here. We're hitting on the
Mhm.
natural time. You know,
Yes.
Rochelle is coming in
Is that any
with
better?
um, with the nutrition. We're talking about the spirituality. Where we got a gambit of things laid out here. And in future conversations, future episodes, we're gonna really go into depth with these topics as well. So it's definitely a good look.
Definitely. And with Brother Makua,
Yeah.
is speaking just his beautiful way of speaking about art being art. For those of us who are dealing with, who are struggling financially right now, or they're looking for ways to earn money with a job or career. A lot of children graduated from high school, going into college recently. Really meditate on that. Meditate on releasing the idea of money. That sounds ridiculous. It really does.
Takes a
Because
lot of
money is
faith.
paper, money is currency, a currency that is basically a promise. Pay. When you look at money, when you look at these pieces of paper, now how can you say that time is equal to that?
Mm.
So consider what Brother Makua said about time being art and how beautiful and colorful and real, touchable, healing art is. The different organizations that he's affiliated with and just everything that they're doing. Makua, you still there?
I'm here. I'm just listening.
Okay, awesome. Oh, awesome. I can't see you.
I
So
don't know why. It's crazy.
I
Is it
know.
Bilal?
At
You
the
able
top
to?
of your screen are you clicking the, because that's what my mistake. I forgot to click the camera.
Yeah, my camera appears to be on. Bilal, do you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Can you see him now?
Oh, it's just me.
No, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, I see. We say, you know, you can be seen.
I mean, I see you. So.
So we're gonna wrap up a little bit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually, I'd like to personally invite Makua to
Oh wow,
on the
that'd be an
show
honor.
and help us co-host whenever he has the time. We
Yeah.
really would like your input,
Well, I'm super
because you're
grateful.
touching a lot of
Wow,
people.
that's
You
that's
a lot of
beautiful.
people. Um,
Well, yeah,
so
I'm very appreciative
can you
of
keep
that.
awesome?
Yeah.
Can you just as we're closing, can you just with some more inspiration?
Well, I think one thing you were mentioning is, like people looking at the question of financial matters, because let's be clear, holistic does mean inclusive. Holistic means whole system. It means it does not exclude money. So it does
Right.
include money, and I think it includes money in a different sense of we're not particularly unconscious to the purpose of the money. The money is an instrument to facilitate certain
Right.
outcomes. And I think that what we're facing more than anything, as I was saying, the question of sustainability versus regenerative consciousness. Sustainability, you could sustain an injury, you can sustain a problem, you can sustain anything. You can sustain a discordant note or set of notes and create discord. So there's a lot of things that can be sustained. There's agendas that have essentially crafted certain words that we use that were intentionally placed in the social conversation to direct certain outcomes. And among them, I would suggest sustainability is one of those words. It's a word that we really need to examine, I think, more carefully, because the idea, when I learned of the popularity of the word or some of the sort of the hidden intention behind the word, it was because it was the idea of how many people could the planet sustain at the level of consumption that we as the human species have grown accustomed to. And so that was an argument for then depopulation. So sustainability is a term directly attached to the idea of population control as the marker for how much of the population would be able to live with to still create a sustainable situation for use of the Earth's resources at a level we've grown accustomed to in our ignorant behavior as a species. So
That's
that
real.
word, a lot like the word cool, even how cool was introduced into our cultural dialogue in the 50s, but it came out of a think tank. So these things, we you know, looking at them more carefully is warranted for sure. But then also considering some new terms, such as I mentioned, regenerative as a term, because to identify something as regenerative, nature's ability is to regenerate itself. This speaks into the multiple generations that what we do today will have the impact on those generations yet to come. So what we do today, we want to be holistically minded to be regenerative in our design, regenerative in the coordination or planning. And all of these things factor back into creativity. So to regenerate is to create, you know. So this is kind of the interesting opportunity we find ourselves in. And I think for young people in particular, or for any of us who are wanting to figure out some new pathways for our for our, shall we say, what words? I mean, sustainability, obviously that's an interesting word. We could say for our sustainability. We use that word a lot now to mean a certain type of life or quality of life. But, you know, I think the big challenge we have ahead of us is looking at how we're going to collaborate creatively among our local communities together in situations that bring us back to the land, back to the earth. Because regenerative and holistic concepts are definitively grounded in the earth. I mean, we're looking to model nature in the way that we design communities, in the way that we learn and educate ourselves, in the way that we support each other to actually achieve a certain level of inner awareness and creative output. And that can all become a holistic process that will then help us regenerate ourselves and our communities and get us, in a way, far more empowered than the idea of just having a job and earning a wage per hour and being on the clock and these kind of things. Because as I said before, we got all the, the frequency cut off, my phone died and everything shifted. But I was saying that, oh, did we just lose Rochelle? I think we lost her probably about 5 minutes ago. Are you still there, B? I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I hear you now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her freeze up a little while ago.
Yeah, she was in like the freeze pose. I said the word cool, and then she just like went into like Iceman.
She froze.
It was like.
Well, until she comes back, there was something I wanted to share along those lines.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. All right. So, number one, there's this website here.
Boom.
I'll share with you all.
Oh, look at this. There we go.
Okay. So, since we have so much attention towards the internet these days,
Oh, yeah.
we want something to, to feed ourselves that's holistic, right? This is one of my favorite websites, Habitat.
Mm.
All right. They deal with news, environment, architecture, design. You got something for the kids here. They tap into art, all this type of stuff. And you got new technology that's environmentally friendly. Electric cars could reach could reach cost parity parity
There you go. There we go.
with conventional cars by next year.
Mm,
Wow.
no
You know
doubt.
that by next
That's where it's
the
going.
cost could, wow.
Which is going to be a huge, problem for the oil companies, which is why we're seeing Trump, for example, pull out of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Exactly.
So these things are all connected,
As well as the pipeline.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other shenanigan.
Whole nother thing, like
So when I was saying this is, this is an incredible website though, and Habitat. Definitely, people should check that out.
Yeah, and that's Tesla. You got all this type of stuff. You got architecture. Watch Toyota's flying car take its first test flight. Right, they take you there.
Wow, fantastic.
Right. It goes deep. So we'll be referring to this site in further sessions as well.
Mm.
All right, so that's one, and I'll put the link in the chat as well.
Nice.
Just in case that can be seen in the future.
All right, now.
Here goes another one.
Hey, look at this. Great looking example of inspiration.
See, this is me. This is Makua and also Taj.
Yeah.
Something that we've been working on that's in the works.
In the works.
This is Planet Restoration. This is the website, planetrestoration.info.
Yeah. The vision of the future. The vision of the future for real.
Yes. It's unfolding, it's evolving, it's growing, and we definitely should be on the lookout for this. We got some music here.
Yeah, got some jams.
Music.
Jammy jams.
Right. This is the free P. Like the EP. This is the free P.
You get the free P. Some free tracks.
So basically, it's
so you can get free.
Some cuts that are right in line with the environment, with holistic living.
That's right. Time is art.
Media.
Time is art, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have the Blog Talk platform for the shows we have done previously. Those are still archived online. People can look up what was the PR 1320. That's what it is. Exactly. Blog Talk PR 1320, which is a whole other conversation.
Yeah, but we have a list of shows already there. Very informative and edifying. We got some powerful guests on there.
True.
Worth checking out,
True.
So you just hit on that link, takes you there.
Good stuff.
We also have the store. Have some unique, powerful.
Some vibes. I need to grab me one of those, t-shirts. The one you designed with the big globe and those shirts are nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Summertime Joan right there.
Exactly. represent the world, represent.
The MLK Don't Shoot edition.
You see?
Classic, man.
Wow.
Classic. I love Stand Up for Africa. That's my jam right there.
There's a lot of good stuff here.
It's the jammy jam. I gotta give me one of those sweatshirts too. Wow, I'm looking. I need a new sweatshirt. I'm like, what? What am I doing?
We got.
I want to order one.
I got the onesie. I got the little baby onesie.
Yeah.
My son. It fits wonderful. The cotton is so soft.
Nice.
It's wonderful. Got something for your phone. Got the mug. So a nice little array of things.
Got some options. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Some wisdom for the youth and the family.
Exactly.
That's
so, right. And when you go in, you definitely want to put in your info so we can stay in contact with you.
Check out some of our social vibes, social media
Mhm.
presence. Few things, points of inspiration.
Sharing some inspiration with you
That's
guys.
right.
And this is the community. You know,
Indeed.
we're building a community,
Worldwide.
and it's evolving and unfolding. And we need you all to be a part of it.
That's right.
And this is the way to do it.
Wow.
And the way to stay informed about the next steps, because these coming years up to 2020, it's really gonna kick into like high gear.
A whole new level, for sure.
Going.
For sure.
So,
Well, I tell you what, B, I'm gonna probably sign
anyone that
off.
wants to share, we're about to close it out with love.
One love to all the people. Give thanks for the inspiration, B. I love this. I love this platform, though. This is a good vibe.
Word up,
Gotta
yeah.
get Shelly back on the scene. I don't know. She look. I guess she got disconnected there, just like me. My phone died. I had to like charge my phone and run and get some stuff. It was crazy. But we're back.
Yep.
And I would love to definitely participate with you all in the future in one time or not. I could be like Huggy Lowdown or one of those guys that be coming on like the radio show and do like the special little. I'll do the creative time is art feature. I'll come on. Have that little pulse every now and then, you know.
That'll be perfect.
But I love what y'all are doing. This is a great platform. Congratulations. I'm glad. It's an honor to be part of the inaugural episode here on the internet as such.
Give thanks, brother.
It's exciting, and I definitely look forward to being part of this journey moving forward.
Give thanks, yeah. And, you know, the further the next ones will definitely promote more.
No, it'll be great.
This as an intro. And
For sure. We'll build up a nice viewership, nice listenership.
definitely.
Get some folks calling in and jumping in the conversation.
Definitely.
Woo-hoo. We got to feature some new music. That's holistic.
Exactly.
Another form of
exclusive music.
Exclusive drops, like boom, here you go.
You know what I'm saying? You know that Suns track that I blessed you with.
One love.
What?
One love.
No, they have to open it up with that.
I think so. That should be the opener. That should be the holistic living network theme.
Oh,
one love. That's all you need.
That's the move.
Yeah, man.
All right, bro. Give thanks, man. Give thanks. It's on and popping. Give
Lots
thanks
of love.
to
Till the next
everybody
time.
who's watching and who joined us live.
Show. Big ups from Washington, D.C. Live to the planet.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, baby.
Word up.
Turtle Island.
Great.
Big up to Rochelle. Awesome facilitator, human being, doing her thing.
Beautiful, magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous, yeah, that's the word.
I think that might be a word. I don't know if that's the right word though. But I got you. Magnanimous. Absolutely. Rochelle doing the Rochelle thing. Love it.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace to the family. One perfect love in Lakesh.
Word up. Holistic living every time.
Every time, each and every time.